Okay, good morning. So let's start in a comfortable seated position. Make sure your hips are higher than your knees. It's much easier to keep your spine straight. And if you have a block or something to sit on, I recommend, it really helps. It's much more comfortable. So just arrive on your mat and then forget about the day ahead, about what you've got planned. Just be in the present. And then now connect with your breath. So make sure your head is on top of your heart and your heart on top of your pelvis. Relax the shoulders. Just notice your breath. Notice where it is, the speed of it. And if it's deep or shallow, just notice. Don't change it, don't judge it. And now imagine that on each in-breath, your breath travels up your spine. And on each in-breath, it travels back down, all the way into the earth. So you breathe in, the breath travels up the spine. And when you breathe out, it travels down and goes all the way into the earth. If you can, make your breath slightly longer than your natural breath. Take 2 more long deep breaths. And then come back into your body. And now set an intention for the class today, or maybe set an intention for the entire day. Choose something that's relevant to you, something you need. Remember, it can just be a word, it could be a sentence or a mantra. And then we're going to come on our back. We're going to lie down on our back. So you're going to need your block very soon, so keep it next to you. And then lie down, and then bring the knees into the chest. And just place your hands on top of each knee. And just to start with, just make some small circle in one direction, just to make maybe 5 in one direction. And then do the same in the opposite direction. And once you've made circle in both directions, just place your arms on top of your shin, or just hold on, interlace the fingers, hold on to the elbows, just keeping the knees close to the chest, but don't force it, don't pull the knees against your chest. Just hold there into supine child pose. Maybe bring the chin a little bit towards the chest, really stretching the spine. So from the tailbone all the way to the back of the neck, or the base of the skull. And already focus on the sensations. It's so early in the morning, you might be still stiff. I feel stiff. So I can already feel my spine being stretched, and it feels good. Remember, we're not forcing anything in Yin, we're not looking for sensations. We do want sensation, but we're not forcing them. By pulling or using the muscles, we just let gravity do that work. And also keep focusing on your breath. Maybe you can keep visualizing it traveling up and down the spine. So remember to breathe into the belly throughout the class. In and out through the nose, into the belly. Nice long deep breath. Now release the hands, place the feet on the mat, keeping the knees bent. So the knees are in line with the hips. Push with the feet, and then go lift the hips and place the block underneath the tailbone to come into supported bridge. So I can't see any what of you do because your camera is placed too high. So, but I'm sure you know what you're doing. I'm just putting my jacket back on. I'm a little bit chilly, lying down on the floor. And bring your arms into cactus. And now scan your body to look for areas of sensations. Observe what's coming up for you in this pose. There could be emotions coming back up. Just really observe. And don't judge. Don't try to change or judge. Just observe. And now on your next in-breath, push the feet, lift the hips higher, and then gently remove the block out of the way. And then extend both legs, coming into your corpse pose. Observe the effect of this last pose. And then just roll onto one side, coming into tabletop, so take your time. Just place the shoulders underneath the wrist and the hips just above the knees. Sorry, shoulders above the wrist, not underneath. And now just gently just do some gentle circles with the hips, starting from the left and then forward to the right and back. You can make 5 circles in this direction. And then do them in the opposite direction. And once you've done circles in both directions, come back for center. And you're going to push the left hand and gently raise the right arm up towards the ceiling. You can look at the hand if you want. And then place the right arm underneath the left arm. Come rest the head on the right cheek. Coming in to thread the needle. Extend the left arm above your head, keeping it on the mat. Make sure the hips stay above the knees, so gently adjust them over to the right. Just let the chest and the head be heavy. And notice the sensations in the upper back. But also in the middle of the back, in the lower back. Remember, you don't need any muscle tension in Yin. We're only using gravity. Just completely relax your muscles. Keep observing your breath. And now slide the left hand underneath the left shoulder to gently come back into tabletop. So observe the difference between the right and the left side and the upper back. And now lift the left arm up. You can look at the left hand if you want. And then thread the left arm underneath the right arm. Come and rest on the left cheek. Extend the right arm above your head. Keep the hips above the knees, so probably move them a little bit over to the left. Notice the sensation in the upper back, the left shoulder. Notice what's happening there and everywhere else. Just relax in the pose. So what is happening for you in this pose? And is it the same sensation as we did on the other side, or is it different? If it's different, how is it different? And now slide the right hand underneath the right shoulder to push and come back into tabletop. So just spend a moment here observing the sensations. And then on your next in-breath, you're going to gently come into cow pose and notice the movement of each vertebrae as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, come into cat. And again, observe each vertebrae, feel each and every one of them. And then come back into neutral. Come and lie down on your belly. And then place the forearms in front of you, one on top of each other, and rest the forearms on top of you, on top of them, coming into your crocodile pose. Remember to relax all the muscles in the legs, in the buttocks, in the back, in the neck, the arms, everywhere. The face. And then on your next in-breath, lift the head up and then come into Sphinx. So elbows underneath the shoulders, forearm parallel to each other, palm of the hands against the mat, spread the fingers and let the hips, the chest be really heavy and falling down. Keep the chest open, bring the shoulder blades closer together. And once you're comfortable, just hold the pose, stay still. So observe what's happening for you, especially in the spine. And now you're going to lower down, rest the forehead on the mat. Just take a moment to observe here the effect of this last pose. And then place the hands underneath the shoulder to push back into tabletop. Step the right foot next to the right hand. And you can either stay upright or you can slide the left knee back to come into dragon pose. You can use your block, place them in front. Remember, you can also use the bolster to place it in front of the left thigh just to help you find your edge. So use your accessories. And once you found your edge, so you can stay on your hands, you can place the hands on the blocks, you can place the forearms on the blocks. Really find the one that works for you. And then once you found your edge, just hold the pose, stay still. Just observe what's happening for you. By stretching the psoas, this muscle that attaches to the middle of the spine, goes through the pelvis and then attaches to the hip. You're really releasing tension in the lower back. Just notice what's happening for you in that part of the body. Remember to keep breathing, nice long deep breaths. Well done. We're going to gently come out of the pose. Come back into tabletop. Observe the difference between the right and the left side. Feels so much better on the left. I want to do the right one now. Don't know you, but so step the left foot forward. Again, use maybe a cushion underneath, or you bolster underneath the right thigh. Place 2 blocks. Or you, if you want, you can stay on your hands. You can stay upright. I'm choosing to move forward and place my both forearms on top of my blocks. I'm quite comfortable like this. I can still feel sensations. I'm not too intense, but I feel them. So I know I'm working on stretching the front of the right hip and my lower back. Can you observe a difference between this side and the other one? And then gently come out of the pose. Coming back into tabletop. Well done. Observe the sensation on both sides. Is it the same? Is it this side different to the other. And then you're just gonna come on your feet. And you're gonna come into dangling pose. So this is the only standing pose in Yin. So bending the knees, you just grab hold of opposite elbows. So you can bend the knees as much as you want. And we're just gonna stay there, being pulled by gravity. Release the neck. Just let yourself be pulled down. Notice as you slowly come closer to the ground. Remember, release the neck, really release the neck. So focus on the sensations. You're probably feeling new sensations in this pose. The blood flowing back into the head. Don't worry about it. The body can normalize it on its own. Release the neck, breathe. Release the hands on the mat and then lower the sit bones to come into seated. And then extend the legs and then again roll back on your back. Bring the knees towards the chest. Open the arms into cactus again and then let both knees drop over to the left. And then if you want, you can turn your head over to the right. Lovely spinal twist. It's really good for the discs. Lubricating all of them, keeping the spine flexible. So What can you observe in this pose? Really let the legs be heavy. And the head as well. Remember your breath. And now bring the knees back through center, bring the head back through center. And go straight onto the other side, drop the knees over to the right. And then, if you can, turn your head over to the left. Keep the arms in cactus. Just release all tension from the legs. Maybe you can notice the position of your vertebrae in this pose. bring your head back through center, bring the knees back through center. Take a moment there to observe the effect of this last pose. And then when you're ready, come into your final relaxation pose of Shavasana. So come and lie down, extend the legs, let the feet drop to the side. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath, palm of the hands facing up. If you have a blanket, cover yourself, use your eye pillow. Whatever you need to be really comfortable. So you can really make the most of this last pose. Remember, Shavasana is the most important pose, asana of your practice. Just reading a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, which is a yogi text. So whatever the best person does, the rest will follow. Whatever measure he sets up will be the standard for all. Our behavior, not our words, is the measure of who we are. We make a profound difference day by day in how we interact with the world. Do we behave in a way that we would wish others to emulate? In our lives, we are bound to action. That is the nature of being alive. Our actions make a difference. It is empowering for us to take the responsibility, to set the standards. If action is inevitable, then surely as people who strive to see the best in all beings, the true nature of all beings and ourselves, and who we are, unwavering in our commitment to freedom, isn't it our responsibility to uplift and liberate the rest through the example we set? As Margaret Mead says, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. So observe the effects of the practice. On your physical, emotional, and mental being or state. you feeling more connected with your spine. Come back in the here and now, listening to the sounds around you, maybe noticing the smells. The sensation of your clothes against the skin and your body against the mat. Just come back in the here and now. Start moving your toes and your fingers. Maybe you can bring your arms above the head, give yourself a nice big stretch. And when you're ready, roll onto the right side, using your hands as a pillow. And when you're ready, come back into seated, using your left arm to push yourself up. You can keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands in Namaste. So thank yourself for practicing today, for you looking after your well-being and especially your spine. Remember your intention. If you set one for the entire day, please keep repeating it in your head for the rest of the day. And thank you for practicing with me this morning. Namaste.